Welcome to episode 97 of Movies and Us. I'm TJ.
And I'm Marcus.
And this is a review genre movies from beginning sometimes. Today, we're covering the 2014 animated release of Son of Batman. It was released April 22nd, 2014. It is the third film in the DC animated movie universe.
DCAMU.
This movie was directed by Ethan Spalding. The screenplay was by Joe R. Lansdale. The story was by James Robinson. It was produced by James Tucker. It stars Jason O'Mara, Stuart Allen, Thomas Gibson, Marina
Baccarin. Baccarin.
Sean Maher.
Captain Baccarin. You should not shout the 70 seas under my watch ever again. Captain Baccarin took my gold, and I want it back.
It's like
Lieutenant Gibson, off of their head.
Being very racist right now.
How's that racist?
Starring.
Now I gotta look her up now. Shit. She's Portuguese. I mean, I assume they had Portuguese pirates, right?
Sean Maher. David McCallum. He is the autopsy guy from NCIS.
Oh, no way. I never watched the show.
Giancarlo Esposito, he was like the bad guy on Breaking Bad and stuff. Sander Berkeley. He was also in a bunch of stuff. He's in a bunch of things. Diane Michelle. Right? Diane Michelle. Fred Tedescore, Bruce Thomas, Kari Walgren, Robbie Patterson, John Smith, D. Bradley Baker, and Andrea Romano.
Bartolomeu Portuguese buccaneer who attacked shipping in the late 1660s. Portuguese.
What's 1660s?
1660s?
That's what you said. Said 60s.
I'm sorry, in the 1660s. He was responsible for the creation of the first Pirates Code. He was born 1623, and died 1670. He was a pirate from 66 to 69.
Alright, so it's an animated Batman movie, so there's no behind the scenes crap. But the movie did make $6.9 million. So, leading into you.
The 2014 box office, ladies and gentlemen, once again for the 15th time this year. I don't know where to land in this because we covered so much of it. I don't remember what we didn't cover. And most of the movies I'm looking at don't look appealing enough to talk about and banter about. So we could go with
just pick a random number.
I'm looking at it. Let's do number 90 through 85, I guess. No. There's like one movie there I banter about, but okay, here's one. Okay, yeah. Let's do 70. Yeah, 70 through 65. I don't think we've done this before. I looks familiar.
Since when do we do by fives?
And we'll do by tens?
We always do by tens.
Okay, I don't think we've done this one before. Yeah, okay. At number 70 with $107.6 million, we have Horrible Bosses Part 2.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what Horrible Bosses is.
It's a movie about three disgruntled friends who have different jobs with horrible bosses, and they each devise a way of planning to kill their bosses separately and like on off each other. Like throw a mama from a train. Like, I'm gonna kill your person, you kill my person. There's no connection to each other's people, so we shouldn't get charged for it. It's a comedy. It's funny actually. Second one was as funny, but yeah.
Okay.
At number 100. I'm sorry, at number
100.
Yeah.
We're jumping backwards now.
I was looking at the box office. At number 69, with $108.2 million, we have The Box Trolls.
The what trolls?
The Box Trolls.
I don't know what that is.
It's a fun kids movie. It's in this claymation style of Thomas Gromit.
That's a children's movie?
Yes.
It's an appropriate number.
At number 68, with $111.8 million. Dad, where are we going?
I don't know.
At number 67, with $111.9 million, we have The Purge. Anarchy. It's a sequel to the Purge movie, obviously, TJ.
Well, I know what the Purge is.
Yeah.
I just don't know what that one is.
Three groups of people intertwine and are left stranded in the streets of Purge night, trying to survive the chaos of violence that occurs.
Purge, by definition, already anarchy.
Yeah, that's how dumb the movies have gotten, TJ. The first one is stupid, so I guess the sequels have gotten even dumb.
Wow,
More dumb.
they got lazy with their naming convention with
Uh-huh.
that one. Okay.
Yeah. At number 66 with $114 million, The Seventh Son.
I don't know what that is.
It's like not sci-fi, fantasy movie. I think it did okay. I mean, it made it 66 and it did good. At number 65 with $117.8 million, Pompeii.
Historical movie?
I mean, it's based off of the events that happened there. But it's not. It's like 300 style, TJ. It's like that kind of historical movie.
Like a disaster movie, then?
It's a disaster movie, yes. 300 color skin, like the color of the 300
Gotcha.
movies. Yeah, it's starring Jon Snow, Kit Harington.
Oh,
yeah.
It's funny that I only knew it based on historical purposes, not on movie purposes.
No, that's how you should know, because the movie did not do well. At 64 with $120.8 million, we have The Nut Job.
No, that is.
It's an animated kids movie. Squirrels doing crazy squirrel things.
Is that a sequel to Ice Age?
No. I mean, maybe you could have a theory and get to the fun, do good connections that way. Number 63 with $123.7 million, we have The Theory of Everything. It's a movie about Stephen Hawking, I think.
I don't know. No idea what that is either.
Yeah. Okay, it's a look at the relationship between the famous physicist Stephen Hawking and his wife.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it was nominated for an Oscar or something. I don't remember. I think it was nominated.
Well, it sounds like Oscar bait.
Yeah. Yeah. Number 62, Sex Tape, made $126 million.
I don't know what that is, but I can guess.
What? Give me a guess.
Two people are making a sex tape.
I mean, yeah.
Probably trying to sell it for some stupid reason. Probably like a comedy.
You think it's a comedy? Okay.
Yeah.
You're right. A married couple wake up to a disaster that the sex tape they made the evening before was gone missing, leading to a frantic search of its whereabouts.
I mean, what else would that movie be about unless it's a porn?
Exactly. At number 61, we have Blended, which made $127.9 million.
Couldn't even begin to guess what that one's about.
It's an Adam Sandler, Drew Barrymore movie.
That doesn't explain anything. That could be anything.
After a blind date, a man and a woman find themselves stuck together at a resort for families, where their attraction grows as their respective kids benefit from the burgeoning
I take it back, so it's every Adam Sandler.
Exactly. Come on, how deep do you think it's going to get? At number 60, Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit, made $135.5 million.
Why do I know the name Jack Ryan?
It's based on a book series.
Oh, that's probably why. Military books?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it like the Hunt for Red October Jack Ryan story, I think?
Oh, right. Yeah,
or is that Jack Reacher?
Maybe Jack. No, I think it's Jack. I don't know. You might be right, though.
It's one of those two, but I know that Jack Ryan's like a book series. So yeah. That's the box office to 2014.
Part of it, anyway.
Yeah, it has no superheroes in it. Back to you, TJ, as I go back on my phone.
Apparently. So, I got some trailers.
Oh, what'd you get?
I got a trailer for Justice League War.
Oh, well, how was that movie?
Rage-inducing.
Yeah, right? We should review that one.
We did 2 weeks ago.
I know. And instead, I don't recall that movie.
I do. I was angry a lot.
And I had to defend that one.
Yeah, because you said I was being too angry.
Yeah, you were.
I also got trailers for Beware the Batman and Teen Titans Go. They seem to be in every animated thing these days, though. I guess it was more of a commercial for DC Collectibles.
DC Collectibles? Oh, you had that before, didn't you?
No, I mean, this one was like action figures.
Have we not have that conversation before about those?
I think I had a pamphlet in one of the books that had that stuff in it.
Okay.
But
I think so.
It wasn't actually on the disc itself.
Yeah.
I got a trailer for Scooby-Doo Franken-Creepy.
That sounds fun.
It looks awful. Like, every time I see Scooby-Doo, I'm like, oh, Scooby-Doo's awesome. And then I'd see the trailer for it. I was like, oh, that looks terrible.
Well, it's like one of those properties.
Although,
yeah.
I will say, based on the trailer, it looks like Velma is the villain in it. Like, she gets taken over or something.
Oh, okay. It's kind of like Hawkeye in Avengers. And
considering how that new Velma TV show went over, it made me laugh. I also got a trailer for Batman Assault on Arkham.
Okay. Does it look good?
I think I've seen that movie before.
Okay.
From based on what I'm looking at. And then from what I've the little bit that I'm seeing about it, it's supposed to take place in the Arkham video game series world, and
Oh, okay.
if that's true, I already got complaints about
Really?
it. Yeah, if that's true, when I go through the Wikipedia page, I'll find out for sure. But like, there's already inconsistencies if it exists in that world.
Really?
Yep, just from the trailer.
Okay.
So anyway, that's that. I'm done with trailers. Are we ready to tackle this movie?
I guess. What was last week? Captain America?
Yeah.
How do we go to a fun-filled movie like that to something like this? Like, we were so excited to talk about Captain America. We barely want to get to Batman. Let's do this.
So let's before we just dive in. Did you like this movie?
I don't know, TJ.
Well,
like I don't hate this and I don't love it, but it's like I've been thinking about it all day. Like it's either a 4, 5, 6, somewhere around that range for me. I don't know where it's at.
Because I kind of hated this movie.
Yeah,
but I don't know why.
And I can see why you kind of hated this because I think it falls into the fact like not the only likable character kind of is Batman, kind of, and but I don't know. I think it's mostly the character development in this movie. It's like. Okay, so we have a son who's not supposed to be likable.
I think the problem is the storytelling.
And it could be that too, but I also felt that was pretty strong in this movie. Actually, like I was watching, like this feels like a good movie. Actually, weirdly, it feels like a solid.
I found it kind of bad. The storytelling, actually.
Oh, how so?
Like they just decided to throw a different group of ninjas to start attacking things.
Are you comparing it from the comics, or are you just comparing it as a?
All right, let's just go into that. I read the comics today. So,
there we go. Okay, so like this now, you're just being like. I'm not saying this as a bad way, but like as a fanboy, in a sense of like.
No, this is nothing. This has nothing to do with fanboy errors or anything like that.
Okay.
The Batman story that this is based off is Batman and his son. Batman number 655 to 658. I read it. Stories are almost completely different.
Which as I was watching this, I feel like, yeah, this movie's probably really different from the comics. Okay, so like, how's it different?
Like almost 100. Well, first of all, Ra's al Ghul in the comics is like already dead. Like he's been dead for I don't know why he's dead, but he's not even involved.
Okay.
Second of all, Talia is the bad guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
She's the bad. Yeah.
Why not keep? So she's the bad person. Instead, they made her like just a weird.
Right. She actually kidnaps the Prime Minister of Britain's like wife or something, and poisons Kirk Lancham's wife with the Ebola virus.
Oh wow.
And to like get the serum, creates an army of ninja man bats, and is taking over and wants this island that her dad wanted and could never get, and that's her demands in order to return things like that. But that's all kind of happening in the background. That's the thing. The real story is Talia has dropped off Damian on Batman because he's essentially there to distract Batman. Damian, and Damian's much more of a little prick in the comic. Like really a shit in a comic.
Okay, hold on. Sorry. So everything you're saying so far is far superior than this movie because they do her so dirty in this movie. Because I always felt I didn't even know this part, but I just like she seems like I don't know the character that well in the comic, but she seems like just a dumb dame. Like,
she's supposed to be one of the Batman's most deadliest enemies as well as love interest. That's the conflict of
they gave her the
it.
shaft in this movie.
She is nothing but a damsel in distress in this movie.
Not once did she have the upper hand, not once was she cunning and Knievel. She was like just getting captured, beaten up, and she comes in, just drops the son off and leaves. Like Batman be okay with that, which I thought was weird. I was like, okay.
Well, and he's
going to take that on face value and not do any research or any DNA tests, which he probably does, but they don't show us him doing that.
They don't do that. They do that in the comics too.
Yeah, it's like what the
I thought the same thing. Why isn't he like taking blood tests or something?
There's no way he's going to believe this. No way.
But to be fair, he does look like Bruce when he was 8 years old.
So, the Batman's the smartest guy. There's no way he's not. He's the smartest, most paranoid person. He's going to test the kid's blood. I'm
not disagreeing with you on that point, but this is their excuses. He looks like he's like a spitting image of Bruce when he's like 8. 2, he did sleep with Talia. Like 8 years ago, she drugged him and stuff, and made it happen. So it is possible, but the fact that he just takes it with without any investigation does make no sense.
Because that's not Batman. What's one thing he takes at face value? Give me one thing he takes at face value. Nothing. Not a goddamn thing. That's who he is.
No killing.
Okay, yeah, no killing. Don't do that. Besides that, he's so paranoid and skeptical of everything.
Right. But she's like, she drops him off and whatever. He's like there. But like, we don't really, the way he's portrayed in this, like, I get what they're doing in this movie. See, this is all set up to get Damian as Robin for their cinematic universe.
Yes.
In the comics, at the end of the comics, Damian leaves with Talia. He doesn't become Robin.
Okay.
And like, also, there's a couple iconic moments in the comics that are completely different. Like, for example, when Batman, there's this like D-list villain out and doing stuff, and Batman's busy or something, doesn't get to it. So Damian goes out and takes care of it and decapitates them and kills them.
Jesus.
Right. Like, he murders people in the comics. Like, he says he's supposed to be an assassin. The whole point of the story arc is for Batman to turn him from that.
See,
you know what I mean?
I think this movie suffers from trying to be PG or PG-13, wherever it is. They're still trying to appeal to the kids because it's animated.
But there's so much blood in this, too, though.
I know. But like, we can't show a kid killing someone.
And that's my biggest problem. Still feels like that garbage New 52 writing. And that's my biggest issue with this movie. It's garbage writing we got from that last movie that's still prevalent here. And another really like iconic moment at the time in the comics that Damian shows up, Tim Drake is Robin.
Okay.
He's Jason Todd's dead. It's only been Dick Grayson in this movie apparently as Robin.
Yeah.
But Jason Todd's dead and Tim Drake is Robin. So at one point when like Batman's out, Damian like beats up Alfred, locks him in like a closet.
Jesus.
And then kicks the shit out of Tim Drake, almost killing him, and actually punching through Jason Todd's memorial case that they have up and breaking it.
Wow.
Yeah,
see, like, again, like as I said earlier, the characters aren't likable that much. And I guess he's super unlikable in the comics. They had to nerf that a little bit because they only had an hour or some change with this.
See, that's my whole point. This is the first part of a long-going thing in the comics. Like, this happened in the comics in 2006. Mm-hmm. And they needed to set up Damian as the next Robin or whatever. I don't know why they needed him to be Robin. I guess because he was Robin at the New 52. Yeah. But, like, it goes back to that garbage New 52 writing.
Yeah.
So
I don't want to mind him as Robin, but it's just make it feel like it's supposed to happen.
Right, no, I agree with you. Don't adapt this story because there's only elements of it they took and then write this garbage.
Yeah,
like Deathstroke as part of part of the League of Assassins used to be. I mean, I think that's actually canon that he was trained under Ra's al Ghul and was one of the contenders, but not like to the point where he's trying to overtake the League of Assassins. I don't know why they wrote this story here. I don't know what this has to do with anything.
Like, it felt why is he doing? Like, he shows up, like, okay, whatever.
But not.
And then like his whole motivation's like, sure, whatever. And then you want to kill Damian but not kill him, like. But
not only that, they added Deathstroke as if he's not Deathstroke. Like, Deathstroke's not even Deathstroke in this. He's just a former assassin who's mad at his dad because Damian's the one that stabs him in the eye. That makes no freaking sense.
No, it's so bad. This movie is such an example of it's got to happen because we either wrote it this way or we just feel like it'd be cool. And like, it's like no forethought in this movie at all when it came to writing and executing. It felt as last week, as I said, as Captain America: Winter Soldier was a fun 80s action movie. This is like a bad D-list 80s action movie.
Well, and here's another example. Every time they kill someone, they use the Wilhelm scream.
Oh my god, I hate it, TJ.
It's like, why? It's like you got that lazy?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a funny joke once or twice, but every time someone gets murdered, it's like, what are you doing?
I don't know if it's controversial enough to say this opinion, but I hate the Wilhelm scream so much. It's cute when you first learn about it, but like once you it always takes me out of a movie when I hear it. Like, okay,
yeah, but like when it's in something once or twice, it's a nod.
I hate it.
But you have to acknowledge it's just a nod.
For who?
For moviegoers or whatever like that. It's just there because, hey, look, we used the Wilhelm scream.
Maybe because it's so fucking meta. Like, we're doing a thing for the it's such a on the ear in your face Easter eggs. Like, I don't need this. Now I'm out of the
Right.
movie.
And that's
I'm
fine. You
out of
don't
the
like it.
story.
That's
Yeah, it's
fine.
for
You
me.
don't
Yes,
like it.
I hate it.
That's a your personal thing. But here, they didn't use it once or twice. They used it like a half dozen
Yes.
times, and it's like they just didn't. They got lazy and didn't make someone scream into a microphone. It's like, what are you doing?
Yep. Oh man.
And then on top of everything, like, all right, let me just do the first act real quick. First act, the League of Assassins are a happy family. Ra's al Ghul and Talia and Damien are all at their hideout. Everything's all fine. They all like everything. Everything's cool, even though they're a League of Assassin ninjas murdering people and stuff like that. And then Deathstroke shows up with other ninjas. What? Like, they didn't. These guys, who are these guys? They're not even in canon anywhere. These are a bunch of soldiers that Deathstroke just wrote up. Why couldn't you just like get a different organization if you wanted this? It's bland, generic garbage, honestly.
That's it's just that yes.
Because now we got a bunch of guys in black hoods fighting another bunch of guys in black hoods. Can't tell who's on whose side. Who cares? And you know what?
Hold on.
Why?
Did you see like the League of Assassins are wearing like Leaf Village headbands? Naruto.
Well, I was about to get to that right now, because all these guys show up with these guns and these helicopters and stuff. The League of Assassins are elite assassins that have been around for hundreds of years. Why are they using like weapons from the 1300s?
Right?
Why don't they have regular weapons? They're assassins. They're not like backwards. They're out there in the world killing people.
That's just tradition. And I guess it's like the spark. I don't know, man.
But like, if you would think they would have advanced technology to guard their fortress.
You would think so. If you have the laser
instead of catapults that throw giant rocks. It's like, what the hell is this
Not
garbage?
only do they have catapults that have giant rocks, they have that dumb Gatling machine gun that only fires arrows.
Yeah, like spears or whatever.
What? Yeah, it's like, what? They're not fighting dragons. Like, this is ridiculous.
It's stupid. Anyway, there's a giant fight. There's an explosion. Ra's al Ghul gets burnt and almost is killed by Deathstroke, but then Damien and Deathstroke have a fight in there, and then Damien pokes his eye out with a sword because I guess Deathstroke's backstory doesn't matter in this. And then Ra's al Ghul crawls to the Lazarus pit and falls just short, and he's dead. What? Bullshit! Just kick him into the Lazarus pit!
Exactly! Oh, his body's too destroyed. No, it's not. No,
There's
it's not.
never been an instance where the Lazarus pit could bring someone back. I've seen the Lazarus pit bring back people who've been dead for 30 years.
Yeah! That one movie you and I saw, they brought back one of Batman's Robins, right? The Joker. Like, didn't it bring back Tim or whoever the
Jason Todd.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that was Under the Red Hood.
Yeah, it was that, like, come on, this movie's stupid. This movie's really bad.
Yeah, like, all of a sudden, Lazarus Pit has limitations now.
Right.
It's like bullshit.
Even if it did, doesn't hurt just to give it a try and just push him in there. See what happens.
Right. And no, really, at this point,
I was so done by that. Oh, this movie's dumb.
Anyway, all that happens, and then Batman's going after Killer Croc, who's just this whole plot line with Kirk developing mutagen serum is added for this garbage movie because in the comic they kidnapped his wife and stuff like that and did all the things to get him to go, but it was just his Man-Bat serum. Yeah. There was no mutagens or whatever. Now Killer Croc's got a tail and stuff. It's like, what the hell is this garbage?
And then later on we see a monkey with bat wings. Like,
yeah, like it's like, what are you doing here? This is stupid. And then another. Talia helps Batman defeat Croc, and she's like, "Hey, Deathstroke's after us. Watch the kid. He's your kid. I'm gonna go now. Bye."
I hate it.
And she just leaves him with him.
How's this? Like, what's the point of that? I guess because she doesn't want the like. I'm sorry.
In this instance, she's afraid that Deathstroke's gonna come after her, get to her son, or maybe because she's gonna run off and try to attack Deathstroke. She doesn't want him in the way or whatever.
Well, she spent, how was it? 13. They spent 13 years trying to train a kid for shit like this.
No, he's 8.
He's 8. They spent 8 years trying to do this for the kid. Like, he should be there, right? I don't know.
Whatever. It's just like to say, "Hey, Batman, you have a son." But that's all it really is. It's garbage. And then the next X is, oh, look, Bruce and Damien. Damien's such a jerk, and he's smart, but he doesn't know what he's doing.
He's overly shitty. I guess there are some kids like that in the world, but he's overly, like, destructive and just
Actually,
bad.
I actually didn't find him shitty enough. He felt
Really?
very tame. He felt very tame to me in this. Like, oh, look, I cut off the head of a garden giraffe.
I thought it was just like, why
it's,
destroy someone else's property? That was killing me. Like him, like going into the computer and doing shit like that. Like, okay, he's smart. He was being like a smart twerp.
But like I said, in the comic, he's decapitating D-list supervillains.
Yeah,
It's like
yes.
he's beating the crap out of Robin and stuff like that. And it's just like here, he's just like I'm gonna go break into your office.
He's a little twerp.
Yeah, he was. That's exactly what it felt like. In the comic, he felt like a threat, and here he just felt like an annoyance.
Yes, it's like, God damn, get rid of this kid. Like if I saw him decapitate someone, I'm like, oh, okay. Like him going after that big thug earlier. Like, okay, him killing that guy. I'm like, oh, wow. Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That guy Ubu is actually in the League of Assassins. He is Ra's al Ghul's like right hand man.
Okay.
So they just kind of made him into a traitor for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That's a comic book thing, though. I didn't really go too far there. So here's another weird thing. They just give Kirk Langstrom a daughter. He doesn't have a daughter in the comics. The whole daughter thing was just added for no reason.
Because you have to have one kid, you have to have another kid in movies.
Yeah, it sure felt like that, didn't it? Like,
Yep.
Robin needed a love interest for something. It's like, that's like, why is this character here? She's superfluous to the story.
It's because she's setting up for later movies, like you said, probably. Some bullshit. Some stupid bullshit.
Like, literally, they kidnap the wife and inject her with a virus and to get the serum. They get the serum, they free them, and then they're never seen again. So it's like, why they were such a minor part of it. They just extended the role in here for some reason. It's like not necessary at all. It's funny. In my notes, I wrote Naruto ninjas.
That's exactly what it was.
Well, no, when Talia goes to break into Deathstroke's manor, they're running like Naruto ninjas with their arms out like that. I'm like, this is stupid.
Oh, man.
What else do I got down here? Speaking of that guy, Ubu, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's in the League of Assassins. Why does he have a place in Gotham?
Right? Because...
Well, he's supposed to be the League of Assassins, and he's buying hookers and stuff.
Like, come on. Like, if this Gotham has the best hooker. Like why
this
Gotham?
Is what I'm talking about. This is like the garbage New 52 writer I'm talking about. Oh, look, he's in Gotham, and he's buying hookers. They're harlots, right? It's like, the sexism is still here. And you can just tell. It's oozing from this generation of the New 52.
Yes.
It's all over the place. It's
like, was there a strong female character in this movie? No, because the mom and the daughter were damsels. Yeah, Talia was. No,
Talia was essentially. Talia goes to raid the place. She gets her ass kicked, is captured, tortured, and then dragged around like a rag doll and used as a hostage, then gets murdered and has to be saved by Batman.
It's so disrespectful. So disrespectful. Like, wow.
She goes from villain to damsel.
Yes. And like the worst kind of damsel. Like paint by numbers damsel. Like, Jesus Christ.
So yeah, the second act is Batman and Son, essentially. Yeah. And then the third act, Nightwing shows up. And then we get the third act is them attacking Deathstroke in his James Bond secret villain lair underwater.
And that's another thing about this movie. It's like, why are we doing all these extravagant things? Like, why? Like, is there any like reason to have this shit? Like, is it just to be a movie? Like, why? Like, what logic is this?
I don't know. It's really bad though. Like, so they go there and like there's man bats on the water, and then Batman uses like sonic rays and they clog up a tube, and then everything exploded. And then of course Batman saves Talia and Damian and they escape, and I guess Deathstroke's just dead at the bottom of the ocean as everything explodes after they're saved by Nightwing in the And
they barely use Nightwing in this movie. Like, wait, why is he even in this movie? Like they make him save the guys at the end just because he gave him something to do.
Because Damian becomes Robin in this, and that was his uniform, and he's supposed to be there. And Tim Drake is part of the original story, so they gotta put Robin in it. I will say, seeing Damian Wayne and Nightwing together is pretty cool.
It's cool, yes.
Because if you don't know, in main Batman continuity back in the 2000s, Batman dies. Bruce Wayne, well, he sort of dies. He's like hit with Darkseid's eye beams.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's turned to ash, but that in reality he's somehow sent back in time. It's a long story.
Stupid, yeah.
But anyway, for a long period of time, Dick Grayson picked up the count and became Batman, and Damian Wayne was his Robin. So that was cool seeing them together like that, and their little fight and stuff like that. And I'll also say it's pretty cool seeing Deathstroke fight Robin, because Deathstroke is a longtime villain against the Teen Titans.
It was cool.
Even though although it's Deathstroke's obsession with children is a little weird.
Yeah.
And like the implications in some of the things are really bad. Still, he's still a Teen Titans villain, and seeing him fighting a Robin, even if it's not the right Robin's Damian Wayne, it's still cool to see. There's cool little things in the movie that I like.
But it's wasted in this movie.
It's in an overall garbage movie. And then, so they defeat Deathstroke at the end. Everyone's saved, I guess, technically. And then, Talia's like, okay, he could stay with you, and then he stays with Batman, and then now they're Batman and Robin, and she goes off to be a supervillain, I guess again.
Which I like him staying with Batman to see his father's side, because like, okay, he's becoming. We see a little character development for Damian compared to him going back, so I do like that.
Yeah,
but it just feels like we don't see him going, because he was a complete shit through beginning to end. Batman's saying, "Hey, slow down." He's running ahead. Hey, listen,
we don't
not
even
listening.
We don't even see the extremes of what this training he's been through was through. So, like, it just seems like, oh, Talia's a bad mother, and now Dad's here, so now he's going to be good.
This paints Talia. I know she's a villain, but this paints her in the worst female light ever.
Like, she's a bad mom. She's a bad mom in the comics, but. Like, because she's a super villain.
Yes.
She's trying to create this assassin. Here it's just, she's got this brat kid. He's not listening to her. So Dad's here now. Dad's going to... that's what it feels like.
This movie's so bad. Got the man fix and save the day. Come on, movie.
Yeah, it's garbage. And then
better.
Robin and Nightwing fought off screen, and so during the end credits, they show it in like still frames their fight.
It's cool.
Which is cool. And Nightwing wins because, of course, he does.
Yeah.
Because he's Nightwing. And then the movie's over, and I'm like, you know what another thing is? This movie's an hour 14 minutes, and it felt freaking long as hell.
Yes. Like by the time we get to the water kingdom bullshit thing, I was like, I want to fast forward through all of this, but I can't for TJ. Like, every fight seems like I don't care about these fights. I don't care about these characters.
It is long. I don't know why. It's so...
But at the same time, it needed more. But,
it definitely...
in a good way.
It
needed more.
But I don't even think more would have saved the garbage writing.
Probably not. It would have amplified the garbage writing.
When Talia first shows up and she's flirting with Batman, that whole scene with her and Batman being flirty felt so forced. So non-believable. It's like, this is garbage. Who wrote this shit? I don't know.
Yeah, right?
I didn't like this movie, and then going through it's really justifying my reason for not liking this movie.
Like, I'll give the movie this. Like, visually, I like this style of art for these movies. Besides that, there's not much going for the movie. It makes, like, I can watch that again. And it's a chore to get through this one.
Yeah, I didn't like it. No. I thought it was bad.
Yeah. I told you, man. Like, I know how I felt about this movie, but now, like I said, we talked about, like, yeah, I didn't care for this.
Like, I knew coming into the movie that I did not like the movie.
Yeah.
I just couldn't figure out why. And now that I expressed it, maybe it is a little bit because the comics, now that I talked about the comic books, were stronger, even though I was a little let down by them. But thinking back on it, there was a lot of moments in that were better. So maybe it's a little bit of fanboy, but not really. It just overall,
because I just watched this movie. I guess I watched it with a critical eye, and like not even like a critical eye, like and tear it apart, but like I could see that this came from solid to good source material. So I was like, man, this movie's lacking, and I could feel like the books have to be better than what I'm being presented right now. If not...
Yeah, and like I said, this is 2014. We're still in the middle of the New 52 garbage, and you can tell, you can feel it. Yeah. It's like, it's just so bad. Like, I'm so glad that all those people that were involved in that are pretty much gone from DC Comics right now. Because it was bad.
Aren't these movies supposed to be good, TJ? Aren't these animated movies supposed to be good?
Yeah,
we've only had a handful, man, at best.
Yeah, we were told these are the good ones.
Oh, TJ.
I'm hoping that when we get to the actual good writing of the comic books, it'll get better.
I hope so.
Like, I don't know at this point. I'm like, bracing myself essentially
Yeah.
for a string of bad movies.
Yeah, this is hard. So I guess we're gonna rate this damn thing.
I think I'm at a 3
Damn it! I was gonna say the same thing. Yeah, I'm a 3 too. So why you at a 3?
because it's not as egregious as something like the Justice League War was to me,
No.
where it was just bad. It's got the bad New 52 rating based on bad source material.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, the core of the story is good. Like I get why they chose to adapt the story. It's just the things they decided to add is so bad and garbage.
Yes.
Really hurt the movie, and it looks pretty sometimes.
Yeah. But just they
So-
didn't execute it in the best sense.
So it gets a couple of points for not being the worst, but
Yeah, exactly. They're like pity points. Well, you weren't the worst. I'm not that angry. I'm not happy with
right,
you
this
either.
is not a movie that I'm gonna be like raging on and like bringing up as examples. Like this is gonna be forgotten.
No, I think honestly, if this was our first bad treatment of a female character compared to like the Wonder Woman movie, I think we would have hated this even more. But I guess we're so used to them just doing bad shit like that to characters and just
Well, after that Wonder Woman movie, it's really hard
Yeah.
to see someone to pick a worse female character.
I don't know, they did Talia bad here. Like she was just pure.
Yeah, I know, but
They like you said, beat her, drag her through the mud, kill her, and bring her back. Like what? Like were the guys like to go through a divorce while writing this movie or something?
yeah, that's
It's
true.
like what? From making her she was the villain you said in the books, right?
Yeah,
To making her this, like that's an insult.
Yeah,
I'm not even trying to be a feminist here. It's like what?
you're not wrong.
Let's torture my ex-wife and then kill her, but it's okay. We can bring her back. Like, and I know it's funny because at that standoff when they're by the Lazarus put hit a gun to her head, like, okay, they're obviously gonna kill her. They're obviously gonna bring her back. So this movie can't be that predictable, and they did it. I was like, wow, the movie's not the brightest.
No, it's lazy writing all around.
No, I'm gonna give this a 2. I'm gonna give this one a 2, just for how because you said it had potential from the books. So like, why change the things that make it worse? I mean, things are changing. I mean, that makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I mean the story would have been fine adapted from the comics. It was like 4 comics long, so
Yeah.
that's enough to get an hour 14 movie out of it. I don't know why you needed to change it to. Wait, I take it back. I know exactly why they needed to change it because they needed to get Damian Wayne to be Robin. That's exactly what it is.
I don't mind them changing that, but you don't have to change the other key factors of the story.
But they also had to establish why Ra's al Ghul was dead.
You don't have to. He's just dead. Just like, oh, he's dead,
Yeah, I know,
or just kill him. You don't have to. Like they don't have to do with the things they did.
But I know, but they thought like, okay, Ra's al Ghul's just dead in the comics at this point from some other reason. So as a movie, for it to stand alone, we need to explain why Ra's is dead and why this is all going off. I get the logic behind the thinking. It's just the execution and the story they decided to go with is bad.
It is because the bad guy was Deathstroke in this. Like I feel like his motivation wasn't strong enough for me to like boo you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
okay,
Honestly, Deathstroke was wasted here.
he was.
At this point, he could have been interchanged with Ubu.
Yes.
And it would have been the same character.
Exactly. Like, there's so much they could have just. I'm not trying to rewrite this movie. I'm not. That's not why we're here. But it's like, God damn it! Why use characters you didn't need to use? Why change characters' motivations? Like, it's just bad.
Why add
I even read the
characters
comic.
that-
I'm just pissed because like it's clearly like not good. It's a 2. It's a 2 out of 10. This is not a good movie.
It's
Like they went
it's-
out of their way to make a bad movie for no reason.
It's funny because when we started this, you said 4, 5, or 6.
Yeah. Apparently, I have strong feelings against this movie.
Yeah, this movie sucked.
Yeah. It's not good.
And you know what?
I don't have
A lot of
much.
people-
The only positive thing I can say about this movie is pretty looking. That's it.
Like, I would actually feel bad for this movie if it got bad ratings and stuff because Damian Wayne for a long time was hated.
I remember
By the
hearing
fan
this kind of
base.
stuff. Yeah.
Yes, he was like absolutely despised. I never really hated the character. It is what it is. He's just another Robin at this point. Like, but over nowadays, the people have grown to like him and stuff like that. So at the time, I can understand people hating the movie just because they hated Damian Wayne.
No.
But no, they hated it because it sucks.
Yes.
Like, I bring that up because I think the Rotten Tomatoes score and stuff is pretty bad.
Well, I know IMDb. I don't care about scores. I think it was like 7 or 6 point something or something.
Rotten Tomatoes was 64%.
That's not bad. Not great. That's
64% is an F.
I guess, but like I've seen lower, so I guess see a 30%. So that's why it's not that bad to me.
I mean, yeah, true.
Son of Batman on IMDb. It has a
7.5.
6.7 out of 10.
Oh.
So it's like this,
IGN has it at 7.5.
so that's not. Wow, that's too high. No, this movie's not good.
No, it's really bad.
Like even Batman as a dad, like you see some like glimpses of him like enjoying seeing Robin being Rob or Tim Drake being Tim, or Damien being Damien. But it's like, man, I needed more. I needed more
When
character
the
development.
when the beacon of light in this movie is Batman, something's wrong.
Well, I guess that's the purpose of the story, right?
Well, not
In that
necessarily.
sense,
Like
no.
you could like the goal is to get to change Damien from a killer to a vigilante. Is that much better? You know what I mean?
They don't though.
Like the thing is to get him to stop murdering people. That's not exactly. You can still beat people up. You're just not allowed to use swords now. You know what I mean? It's not exactly.
But then they end up killing man-bats left and right, and then killing them. It's like, what the?
Yeah, I mean,
This movie's just not consistent.
no, there's nothing good in this movie.
There's
There's a few little cool things in it, but like
It's just wasted cool things.
it's just fan service at that point. You know what I mean? It's like trying to get itself higher than it is.
Yeah.
So it's just like I don't know. It was bad.
Yeah, I'm not trying to beat this dead horse. Any last words, TJ?
On to the next bad movie.